Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of the Connected and Committed podcast.
It's been 2 weeks, I guess,
Yeah,
as
it's been two
usual.
weeks. Yep,
Well, did we? Yeah, we did. We did.
we
Never
did.
mind.
Which, yeah, we did. Um, it has been an interesting month. It's been an interesting month. We're just gonna probably just jump into it, but this episode's gonna be different. It's not gonna be like a maybe lessony episode. This is just gonna be an update on how things have been going for us the past month. Because it's just been kind of a lot. And I think for us, it's important to have y'all know like what's like being open and real and honest about what is happening in our lives. And if we are just carrying on as normal, I think sometimes is it's interesting and be like, it's easy to not ever share these things, but
hmm
I think that it's important for us to be like real life happens. And obviously, as you are picking a partner and all the things, I actually posted out my story a little bit ago, like maybe a week ago now, or two, I don't remember. But I said, when you're married like 5, 10, 20 years down the line, the question that's going to be popping up in your mind is not going to be like, did I marry the most handsome man in the room? It's going to be, is my husband, is like, is he kind? Is he my safe place? Is he there for me? Like, is he consistent during hard times? And that was also related to something that we were going through during that time. And I felt like it was just this thing where, for me, I think it was important for me to have an episode like this because it's easy for me to just carry on as normal and not really address deeper things sometimes. And I think that is important just for you guys who are listening, for you to know like real life and be a part of this journey with us as we are sharing obviously helpful things, but also things happen in our life too. And it is important for us to share it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, I don't really want to talk about this, but
Yeah.
it's, it was definitely, an interesting month for us. Last couple of months were interesting. In other ways, though, like some things were really good.
Sure.
I'd say, like in our professional aspect of things, but um, I don't know if you, because I feel like you should be the one.
Sure. Ugh, okay, this is weird. But yeah. So when we were in Hawaii, which was the beginning of May, we just got back and we found out that we were pregnant. It was super exciting, and like we had been trying for a couple months before that. So it was just like obviously this huge like exciting experience. And I remember filming. I recorded a video of Matthew being like, "Okay, if we're pregnant, like we'll come back here with our future child," and blah blah blah. And like it was just I don't know. I think I was definitely in cloud nine because as a woman, I'm feeling things more than like, obviously it's happening to me. And so I'm able to tell more. I'm like, I think I am compared to Matthew's like, okay, we'll see. Right. Cause I cried book probably multiple times. Like maybe I'm pregnant.
Mm.
Um, and so it was just like this nice little bubble for a little bit of time. And so like the next day, we got back like 5 a.m. I think I told someone, I told my sister. And then like the next day I told like our best friends. And like it was just like just a super exciting time. And then there was some anxiety for me of like, oh my gosh, like what if something happens? Like, like I think it's just some anxiety that shows up because you can see a lot of videos, you hear a lot of stories, people having miscarriages, you hear a lot of things happening. My mom has had a few, my sister in law has had a few. And so my mom was just like, don't do anything, just be careful, like, blah, like, just don't pretty much just like rest until you find out everything is fine. Um, and I knew that was coming from her own experience. So anyway, I think I was just already kind of heightened in anxiety a little bit watching TikToks about it and all that of like, okay, like how to keep your mind right. And then so we found out on the third, yeah, because the wedding was on the second. Yes, we found out on the third, and then on the eighth, like so that Thursday. So we found out on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was a Friday or Saturday night, to be honest. I think we got on a Friday. Yeah, so we found out like on a
Well,
Friday,
it was Saturday
Saturday
morning
morning. Okay.
because we landed so early.
Yeah, that's true. And then we like on Thursday, I had started like spotting a little bit, which everyone's like, it's normal to spot, like just don't be freaking out. But I was like just in my head and like really, really we had actually done a Q&A that day with everyone, like did a Q&A and it was great questions. But then like halfway through the Q&A, I kind of stopped because I was just like really, really anxious and just like in my head. And then the next day, um, I had I didn't sleep at all night at night. I remember just I was trembling. I could not stop shaking for like 20 minutes, like at night. I just couldn't, I think I was just so anxious and so afraid that something was happening. And then the next day I'd called couple doctor's office to see if I could maybe like do an ultrasound or whatever. Cause just because there was just like, it was just kind of, I don't know. I've never been pregnant before. So I didn't know what was normal, what was not, but I was like, I just feel like this is not, this
Normal.
shouldn't be normal. Like just like, it wasn't like heavy blood at that time. It was just like a little bit like lightly, and then it would just kind of go red, and then it would go bright. It was just different colors. And I was like, okay. But then I was like, am I seeing tissue? I don't know. I just didn't know what was happening. So I wanted to do an ultrasound to find anybody who could maybe just see me to make sure everything was fine. But no one was like, if you don't have an OB, there's nothing you can do. You just need to go to the ER and they can do all the tests. So then I had called, yeah, I had called our doctor's office that we were going to go to at the the beginning of June for my appointment in like 9 weeks. And they were like, okay, if it's not heavy bleeding, it's fine. If it is, then you need to go to the ER. So I remember like, okay, cool. Like I'll just be chill. I was about to make breakfast, and then there was just like, it was just like suddenly like a bunch of blood. And then I remember I said like, oh no. And then you ran. I don't know why you did that. I don't even think my reaction felt like was that big. Um, but you ran. I'm like, are you okay? And I was like, well, no, I'm not really. Oh man, I just felt that moment was just like, I could feel in that moment. I was like, I don't think everything is okay, but I was like, I don't know. I've heard so many different things of different stories of like, maybe it could be something else. So I was trying to still remain hopeful that maybe nothing was wrong. Um, so we went to the ER.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was like, yeah, and then we were there for a while.
But yeah, I mean, we went to the ER. I thought, I thought you were still pregnant. I didn't think, I didn't see or didn't think that, something had happened. And the ER, they didn't say, they obviously, they said it was too early.
Yeah, I was like so early
Yeah.
at the time, so it's hard to
It was too
tell.
early to tell what's going on. They told us like they usually are looking for more blood than that, like two pads an hour. They said, which is a lot. And she wasn't there, so for me, I was like, yeah, she's fine. It's okay. Um, and so I guess after that, we kind of we went home, and then we kind of just
They said like self monitor it, right? And if
yeah.
it continues or you have more cramping or whatever, then like go ahead and go. Like go back to the ER. I'm like, I'm not going back there. That was too much. The ER is not. It's a lot of money, which is not a big deal. But it was more just like, unless I really need to, I won't go. And I understand why they say that, because it could be other things that are going on. But it didn't happen. Like my only cramp that day, and then like I did have a lot. Like, I was bleeding a lot, but again, I think I was like, I was holding on to this hope of like, it's a subchorionic hematoma, which I've heard so many stories of people who it's like so much blood, so much clotting, and the baby was so fine. So I was like really holding on to that hope. And to be quite honest with you, I like put a lot of emphasis on ChatGPT, which wasn't great, because I was like putting all information in there, and it's like, okay, according to this, you doesn't seem like you did. I'm like, okay, cool. And so from like the week of the 9th up until like, excuse me, my appointment on June 3rd, I was just holding out hope that the baby was still there. And just like praying and believing and having faith. And like, I think too, because of that, and I think also because I was pregnant, and then, whatever, I think my body was giving me some signs and signals. And so I was kind of confused, like, okay, well, this isn't normal. I never had this. Maybe this is it. And so I was just holding out the hope for like 3 weeks. And at that time, I hadn't really told very many people, because I just didn't want, I think I was also just like, I need just to be this like
Mm.
undeniable faith right now. I don't want anything that's going to obscure me and give me any doubt right now.
Yeah.
So I
Zero
didn't,
momentum.
yeah. So I didn't tell my mom. And I know if I would have, I'm sure it would have been probably pretty clear at that point, but I didn't tell very many people at all. And so, it was kind of like this like weird journey of like, okay, I'm fine, but also mentally I'm like really anxious and so afraid that this is not going to be good news. And so it was really weird, really hard, I would say 3 weeks mentally. My mental health was not great. Like I didn't sleep very well. I was really anxious. I was like, every day I would just be thinking about it and like trying to like speak truth in life and like do affirmations and all the things. But then there's another part of me that's like, well, what if something is wrong though? And like, what if you're kind of really in denial?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like, yeah, and I would say like, yeah. So I feel like it was just kind of like this weird, like isolating time. Like I could talk to Matthew about it, and like I think Matthew too, because of this, he was also just like, it's fine, it's fine, like it's fine. We don't know any information right now, so until we know, there's really nothing that we can dwell on, which is true. So, we had our appointment on June 3rd, and we went in, and then we did a ultrasound, and then she was like, I don't see the sac, and I'm like, okay, but then she was like, we have to wait for the doctor, and then we'll know information. And the doctor came in, and she confirmed that it was a miscarriage, the baby was gone. And yeah, that was, I obviously I was bawling. I mean, I throughout this process I was crying a lot. Like it wasn't just like I might feel like, oh, she's not very emotional now. I've done a lot of grieving throughout this whole month. And I have this thing for me, and I was talking to Matthew and my couple friends about this yesterday, of like, I have this thing where I've done it for every grief I've gone through, for breakups or anything. There's a moment when I'm like, okay, I think I'm
It's
done.
enough.
I'm done
Yeah.
crying about it. Like not in a sense of like I want to move out and I don't want to think about it. It's just like it's like a signal my body gives me where it's just like, okay, we've processed and grieved this a lot. We're not going to cry about it anymore. Not saying I'm not so sad about it. Not saying I'm not still just like,
No, that's
oof,
normal.
but it's like the crying is gone. Um, and yeah, it was just a
Yeah.
interesting part of it. That was just like the last grieving I had to do. But I think the hardest part for me after that was obviously telling my family. Oh, that was hard. And then like obviously like telling like my friends of like, yeah, this is it. But I think my parents were the hardest because they care about me a lot, obviously, and I love them a lot. And I think there was a part of me that felt like I was hoping that I could be the one that didn't have to have the miscarriage in the family. You know what I mean? My mom had a couple, my sister-in-law had some. I was like, maybe this can end with me. And so I think I just felt like, I don't know. I think there was a part of me that felt like I was like, I failed, which I know I didn't do anything wrong, but there was a part of me that felt like, dang it, you couldn't even, you didn't, I don't know. Like, I just think I felt disappointed in that.
Yeah, but I think you got to keep in mind it's not like it's a generational curse that you have to
Yeah.
break.
Yeah. That's true.
It's not. It's
That's
not
true.
true. Like unfortunately, like the doctor told us, it's like 25% of pregnancy is going to end that way. So it's a big percentage.
Sure.
One out of four. So I think I'm not saying that we should normalize it, but I'm saying like unfortunately numbers kind of are showing that it is normal.
And I think, and what she said too was the sense of like, sometimes, especially when it's that early,
Or not
you're
normal but common. Yeah.
common, yes. Her like when it's that early, your body sometimes just kind of like it just kind of rejects it of like, oh, there could be something that could be wrong here if it goes full term, and so kind of just like lets it go. It's like kind of like a late period in sense, which is weird.
Yeah, but that's
But
that's
yeah.
good. Yeah, that's good too. Plus, the doctor obviously, I think the doctor said that she was perfectly healthy and that there was nothing wrong with her body,
Hmm.
and that next pregnancy should be, she's expecting it to be full term.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was for me good because I was like, I'm glad that it's not like a fertility problem
Right.
or anything like that, and I'm glad that my sperm works. But yeah, so for me, I was happy to hear that. But also, I was, you know, it's just it's very it was sad, but also like I'm happy that you're healthy and that we're not gonna have to like go through this whole like fertility journey or like some people, which is unfortunate and that's and very sad. Where people have a hard time conceiving,
Hmm.
so yeah, but it's not at the end of the day. I think that even though we've processed, I'd say for the most part, I think that it still can be something that's painful and it's still very recent. Um, so I think we're still. I feel like I don't want to do this podcast and like tell people that it's behind us,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I don't think that's true. I think we're still processing in some ways, and sometimes it's random too.
Hmm.
You know, it could be at a random moment. Like actually, today we're recording is Father's Day, so
Yeah. That's true.
so yeah, it's interesting. I'll say it was interesting for me. when we were at church and they were praying for fathers and stuff, and I was praying for other people, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Or just seeing Father's Day stuff all over the place. I was like, oh, because for me, I feel like it's already hard for me to picture myself as a father, because I've just been used to living like just us
Yeah.
for so long. And so, it's doing this there. I think there's a big part of pregnancy that's like on the men's side, that's like this mental work of putting yourself in the father's place,
Mm.
you know.
Mhm.
And so here it's like, well, I was putting myself in that place little by little, and then um it stopped. But like, if you're Christian, a lot of people believe that all those miscarriages, they
A lot of people, yeah.
go straight to heaven, to be with the Father. And if we believe that, and if like our child is up there, then it's great,
Yeah.
and it's definitely not like, it is a loss here, but it's also, he's or she, I don't know, wouldn't know what it is, but they're in a good place.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I yeah, there's not really any lesson to take out of this.
No, but I
Yeah.
just think that it was just important for us to share, because I think that what, even as you're saying, it's Father's Day today. What sucks, I think, was the fact that like I was so excited to be like, oh my gosh, I'm finally gonna celebrate. I'm gonna be a mother. Like even if it's like 6 weeks, whatever, I would have been a mother on Mother's Day. But then it was, I think, unfortunately, the miscarriage happened on the 9th, and the Mother's Day was on the 11th. So it was like,
Oh wow, I forgot about that.
yeah, that was sad.
That's yeah.
But
So it's a tricky time.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was not fun. I think it was unknowingly. I still was like, oh, maybe we could, whatever. But yeah, I know. I don't even want to say it is what it is. It sucks. It's not. But there's isn't like I'm the type of person who's kind of like, I want to just feel like, oh, it's fine, because it's like this is not a situation where I can say it's fine. Because in breakups, I can be like, well, it's fine because I'm gonna have a husband who's gonna love me
When
and
no
he's
one
gonna be great.
died,
Like, yeah,
or yeah,
yeah. Or I've
no
never
life was lost.
exactly. And here it's like I can't even say this is gonna be fine, because I'm like, no, this was a baby, and baby's gone, and that sucks. And I'm just very thankful for the community and the family around, like my family for one. We're seeing them this week, and I'm so excited. But like have my family, and then also just like our friends, our community has just been unreal. Like we're so blessed to have our like our family here. Like we have like a second family in Austin, and like I think that this would have been really really hard alone.
Mm.
And I know there's a lot of women who, because it feels like it's only been like 5 weeks, okay, well I just like suffer alone, and I just want to like, I don't know, whoever's married on here, if this ever happened to you, do not ever experience this alone, because it's very lonely and isolating to do that by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And to have people who are just checking in on me still, I'm like, hey, and we had a friend pray for us today. Oh man, I was like crying, because I just think it's like, it just felt powerful to just like have someone just like love me so much to pray for this next baby in the future, but also just like grieve the one that we had. And it was very special. But I think that it would have been very easy just to be like, oh, it's fine, like let it go. It was only a week, and move on. But it's just like, that's not honoring to me. It's not honoring to us, and it's not honoring to our child, and it's not honoring for my heart. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thankful that we did tell people, because then we had people to just to be with us during this time. And I think too, it would have been easy just to be like, oh, whatever, just business as usual. Let's just keep doing it and not ever share. But honestly, I think it's important, again, for you guys to know what life looks like for us. It's not always beautiful all the time, and sometimes it's hard. And I think in this process, there has been a lot of beauty in our marriage, because I think I've been able to see that here for better, under like a vows, for better or for worse, all the things. But being able to have a partner, and a husband, a best friend, and somebody who like loves me and is able to be here in this time like 100%. Like if I'm crying, he's holding me when he's speaking. I don't know, this has just been like really, I don't want to, eye opening. Oh, like, I didn't know you love me. I know you love me. But I think we've never had experienced something like this before together.
Yeah.
And so I think that just been like, it just solidified to me. I'm like, wow, I picked the best. Like, I'm so thankful that I'm married to you. I'm so thankful. And
Well, I'm thankful that you're thankful.
It's just been really really
It's been
sweet.
good.
It's been very sweet. And
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to say I'm just very grateful. And I think again, just even reiterating that post that I sent, just in a sense of, again, I'm not here to make us at a lesson. Just in a sense of, you are picking someone who's going to be there for you for everything, right? You're not just picking somebody who's going to be there for you and just whatever, you know. And I think that it's so easy to focus on other things, but what really matters is just someone who can be consistent, and who can love you and is just, yeah, your best friend.
Yeah.
And so, and for our child of sitting in heaven, I'm very excited to meet them, but also for our future kids, I'm just excited for them to witness like their parents loving each other so well. I don't know. I cannot wait for that. And I know it's going to happen in the near future. I have a lot of faith for that. And um, I just trust that it's going to happen in the near future. And I'm excited to one day like post this on a podcast and be like, we're pregnant, and like something really, that's like this really exciting moment of like, after grief, when there's joy, there's this, it's just even for me, like a bigger joy I didn't even know I could have because of something I just lost, So, yeah, again, no lesson. You don't need to share this unless somebody who has experienced this. I don't know if this will be helpful for them, but
I don't know.
I don't think so. Just more in a sense of, this is not a like, subscribe, whatever. This is just this is real life. And we love you all, and we're just thankful that we can be honest about our lives and share this in this space, because we know that it's a safe one. And this also just be nice to, I don't know, if I ever need to listen to this again for any reason as I'm like celebrating this other baby, like I think that'll be just nice to, I put it down, and I'm happy that I can do that. So
Yep.
yeah. Anyway,
Thank you for listening.
thank you for listening.
Yeah. And yeah. Supporting us, I guess. Is, yeah. That's it.
We love you all, and we will talk to you all in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.